Control your mind or be controlled. Stoicism explained. Rome, 65 AD. A man opens his veins in a quiet bath. He does not scream. He does not resist. This is the final command of Emperor Nero. The man obeying it is Seneca, one of the greatest philosophers of ancient Rome. And in his final moments, he teaches the world how not to fear death. The world of Stoicism, chaos and control. Stoicism was not born in comfort. It emerged in a world of war, political instability, exile, and death. Founded around 300 BC in Athens by Zeno of Citium, Stoicism was later shaped and refined in Rome not by scholars in isolation, but by men in power and men in chains. Its central idea was simple. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This idea would shape emperors and slaves. Epictetus, the slave who mastered freedom. One of the most influential Stoics was Epictetus. He was born a slave, owned in Rome, possibly crippled by his master. Yet his teachings would later influence emperors. After gaining freedom, Epictetus taught a powerful principle recorded in his work, the Enchiridion. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. This is the foundation of Stoicism. Not optimism, not denial, but clarity. Epictetus argued that suffering comes not from events, but from our judgments about them. If you lose your job, that is an event. If you believe your life is ruined, that is your judgment, and that is within your control. Seneca, power, wealth, and death. Seneca was not a poor man. He was one of the richest individuals in Rome, advisor to Emperor Nero, a politician, a playwright, a philosopher. But Stoicism did not protect him from danger. In 65 AD, accused of conspiracy, Seneca was ordered to take his own life. According to the Roman historian Tacitus, Seneca accepted calmly. He spoke to friends. He discussed philosophy. He treated death as something natural, not tragic. In his letters, later compiled as Letters to Lucilius, Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." For Seneca, fear was the true enemy, not death, not pain, but the mind's exaggeration of both. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor in war. Now imagine ruling an empire, plagues spreading, wars at the borders, betrayal within. This was the life of Marcus Aurelius. Unlike most emperors, he did not write speeches for the public. He wrote private notes to himself. These writings became the book Meditations, a journal of discipline written in the middle of chaos. He reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus Aurelius practiced Stoicism not in theory, but on battlefields, facing death, facing responsibility, facing himself. Stoicism in practice, 3 core disciplines. Stoicism is not abstract philosophy. It is a system of daily practice. 3 key disciplines define it. The dichotomy of control, from Epictetus. You divide life into 2 categories. What you can control, your thoughts, actions, decisions. What you cannot, outcomes, other people, events. This removes anxiety at its root, because anxiety comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Negative visualization. Stoics practiced imagining loss, not to become pessimistic, but to build gratitude and resilience. Seneca advised reflecting on the possibility of losing wealth, health, or loved ones. Why? Because when you understand that everything is temporary, you stop taking life for granted. Voluntary discomfort. Stoics trained themselves to endure hardship, cold baths, simple food, minimal possessions, not because they lacked wealth, but because they refused to depend on it. As Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare." The goal was simple, to prove to yourself that you can survive discomfort, and therefore not fear it. Stoicism and modern life. The ancient world was chaotic, but so is ours. Information overload, economic pressure, social comparison, constant distraction. Stoicism does not eliminate these problems, it reframes them. Modern interpretations of Stoicism grounded in classical texts suggest practical applications. Focus on effort, not outcome. Accept uncertainty as part of life. Detach self-worth from external success. Respond calmly instead of reacting emotionally. These ideas are not modern inventions. They come directly from Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. Misconceptions about Stoicism. Stoicism is often misunderstood. It does not mean suppressing emotions. It does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. Instead, it teaches, feel emotions, but do not be ruled by them. Marcus Aurelius experienced grief. Seneca experienced fear. Epictetus experienced pain. But they trained themselves to respond with reason, not impulse. A slave, a senator, an emperor, different lives, same philosophy. They could not control their fate, but they mastered their response, and in doing so, they found something rare. Not power, not wealth, but peace. In a world that has not changed, their wisdom still holds. The question is, will you control your mind, or let the world control it?